Welcome back everybody to the weekend show where I'll be doing technical analysis on stock market. So before we get started, please hit the like button and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas like these ones right here that we took just a couple days ago, and you can see this morning 8:38 a.m. already called it out that at opening it's going to be going in the money. We can take profit right here 610 25. We took these puts right here on QCOM. That was a fantastic trade, and I'm only sharing few here. This was a trade I took yesterday. You can see right here. That was Thursday that I took these trades right here on Qs, and today 528. You see right on my screen going deep in the money and sold for a nice profit. So if you want these types of trade ideas, you want to learn and you are really serious about trading, definitely check out my link down below in the description for Patreon. And with the market, well, the war just started, right? But do you think that's going to really affect the market? Trust me, I'm going to keep this really simple, guys. Over the weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, you guys are going to see a lot of YouTube videos and posts on X talking about Black Swan, Black Monday, Black Crash, White Crash, whatever trash, just bunch of videos coming out and saying all these things. Does the market actually cares about what's happening in the Middle East? Absolutely not. We saw Russia going into Ukraine. What happened? Nothing. Hamas took hostages from Israel. What happened? Nothing. We got a tiny bit of dip, but it was nothing major, right? Not like the drop we saw with Trump announcing tariff, right? You know, that would be something awesome. We get another dip, right? A lot of hungry dip buyers out there, including myself, waiting, but it's not happening. So, market went down today with that news. Obviously, a bunch of things going on over there, uh, retaliation, and then it just going back and forth, guys. uh, you know they'll hit back, then Israel will hit them back, back and forth, and then a couple days later they'll just go home. There is not going to be no all out war because Israel, they know, Iran, they know they cannot afford it. If they go out on an all out war, that is going to affect the market. But do you think that's going to happen? I don't think so. I don't think so. These missiles that you're seeing right now, firing in Israel, they did it before. What happened? Nothing. Israel went into Iran before. What happened? Nothing. So, I mean, the war, whatever, happening, especially in Palestine, it's been going on for, a year. And this is something that news started. We heard that Hezbollah is going to come out and attack. What happened? Boom, he's gone. So, these types of news, like I said, I don't want to go too much into details. Forget about it. Not gonna happen. That is my take here on that war. So if you're buying, because you think that market is gonna go down huge way and you're gonna get a huge opportunity, I don't think that's the case. But we will possibly get some sort of a dip, maybe a deeper correction in the market. We can easily go down 5-6%. That would be totally healthy, and I would be really happy if that happens. Only down 1% today, guys. So what the market did today, well, Dow was down actually the most, I think, or Russell here 1.83%, then Dow 1.79%, Nasdaq just over 1%, and S&P at one point was almost going green because of this weekend and the war news is out there. That is why you saw a bit of a selling at the end. This is nothing, absolutely nothing, but these videos will come out 100%. Black Swan, Black Monday and all that crap, and then you will see a lot of posts on X saying that what is coming next. You might see Bitcoin dropping a little bit, and then they're gonna say, oh, the market is gonna follow. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see the same type of drop, at least right now. I don't see it, that we saw a couple days ago with Trump, because that was Trump talking and these tariffs were affecting US. And right now this war means nothing for us. things can happen. I know you'll have a different opinion, and you will say, oh no, it's going to affect the US. We're going into war and all that. Whenever we go, then we can talk about it. Right now, we're not in that war. It's happening in Middle East, and these, Israel and Iran, quickly, guys, these two countries, they've been doing this for a long time, back and forth, back and forth. They all fired, things at each other and then just go back and forget about it. They're not gonna go on an all-out war, and we have seen that over and over because they cannot afford that. They cannot afford the destruction that's going to bring if they go on all out war. And that just bottom line. They're not gonna do it. So you're gonna see that over the weekend. And I just want to give you a heads up that market not really gonna move that much. Maybe Monday we get a little bit of gap down, possibly. I would think, we get some sort of a news over the weekend if we get some news. I mean, right now you're seeing a lot of missiles going into Israel, and then they might fire back. So you might see some back and forth action there, but I don't think anything major is gonna happen. But if something were to happen over the weekend, that is why you saw that selling at the end, even though the market almost recovered everything today and then gave back some of those gains. So watch out. I mean, I would welcome the dip, but don't think that because of what's happening out there, that is why you're getting this dip. Market was also getting frothy. It was a slow grind up, so we just needed a catalyst, and that is why the market is pulling back. Now let's get right into S&P 500. All right, so SPY ETF was down just over 1%, and look at this, guys. So we opened at 598. Last night it was trading at 592, so already pre-market everything recovered. Okay, we opened at 598. What happened from there? We got a bit of a dip, and the market pretty much continued up all the way up to the previous day's closing, which was 603.75. We got up to almost 602. I mean, pretty much recovered the entire drop. So you think market cares about that war that's taking place, just dropping some missiles here and there? Absolutely not. This U.S. market definitely does not care. Now, going into especially Monday's session, there is a call wall here on SPY ETF, which is at 600. We did close below 600, so now you can see, I mean, we got over 600, but it did not really hold. Plus, we got this rising wedge. Things are getting, really frothy to the upside. This was the last major pullback we had after that massive rally, right? Since then, we're getting shallow pullbacks. I mean, I would not even call these, type of moves like this one right here that we have, the ones that we had before. I would not even call these, a decent pullback. So we actually had no pullbacks since 421, 2025, April 21, 2025. Since then, we actually had no decent pullback, and not even, like 3%. We're just slowly going up here on S&P 500. So going into Monday's session, if we open above a 600, game on for a move. Definitely up to 605 and then previous all-time highs. Now, if we open below 600 and maybe there is a gap down, which I would welcome that if that happens Monday, because we need some sort of a pullback to get in here in this market. We can't just have the market going up. Nobody's making money like this. Who's gonna be new money long here? At least I don't know about you guys. I'm not going long here. Absolutely not. We get some sort of a retracement, maybe come down, fill some of these gaps down here. That would be fantastic. And now, if this thing opens below 600, opens on a gap down, then watch out. There will be support right here at 595, another call wall at 590. That's the wall target. And below that, we do have support at 586. So we'll see how things play out next week. But also keep that in mind. Lower Bollinger Band now sitting here at 580. So I don't see too much of a downside. Maybe another 10, 12, maybe 15 bucks if we get some sort of a dip. Even right here, which is unlikely unless, like I said, if something unfolds this weekend, some really bad news, something crazy, and market does not like it, you guys will see it on Wall Street weekend, what the market is doing, and I'll keep you posted if something comes up really bad where we see a drop, 4 or 5%, which unlikely, very unlikely, guys. So S&P 500 definitely holding up. Nothing really crazy going on, and this is the first pullback we're getting, which is down over 1%. Now, Nasdaq, on the other hand, also was getting frothy, and look at today. I mean, this thing also recovered. I mean, this was the previous day close, 533. We got up to 532. So talking about buying the dips, I mean, absolutely killing it right out of the gate. And we sold those puts you guys saw earlier in my video that we had 528. Sold it right here, right at opening, because after that, market went higher. So going into Monday's session, looks like the 20-day moving average can act as a support. There is strong support right here at 522, and the 20-day moving average sitting at 524-ish. So 524 to 522, these are going to be strong levels of support on triple Q. Underneath that, also we'll have support at 515 right here, which was a magnet before, and then this gap will come into play if we go down here on Nasdaq 100. To the upside, there will be now resistance at 531.59 right here, 5-day moving average, and if that clears up, we can go higher from here. Then the next stop would be right up here at 536, 537, and over that, definitely going back up to all-time highs, or at least retesting previous all-time highs here on Nasdaq 100. Dow Jones, and this is where the negative divergence playing out, guys. I mean, you can see Dow is nowhere near all-time highs. S&P and Nasdaq, they were there. And why? Because we got a couple laggards here on Dow Jones, especially you got Apple that's actually not moving, actually going down. Then you got UNH. We saw some moves yesterday, and today Caterpillar went down, Boeing went down. So who's going to bail out Dow Jones here? Nobody, pretty much. So we saw that pullback today, and it did not hold 423, unfortunately. So it looks like we might be coming down and closing this gap 418. Maybe find support here around lower Bollinger Band. So that is something to watch. And these are going to be levels of support to watch. To the upside, we left the gap open today. So there is a gap at 427. If we can go up here Monday, we can possibly close this gap on Dow Jones. So we'll see which gap actually gets filled here on Monday. This one at 418 or 427 possibly gets over 428, the resistance here. Then it's heading higher back up to 433. IWM, I did not uh, put out that play on my video today, but we had puts on IWM. That was from Wednesday, guys. Wednesday, pretty much right on top. We did not sell. We did not panic. And look at today. This thing came back all the way down to 208. Actually, this one also went back up and tried to get over 210, but it did fail. And then now it's sitting right on top of the 20-day moving average. 208 is the key line in the sand here on IWM. That gives up. It's going to land possibly down here at 200, flat 200 to 201, lower Bollinger Band, and then 198. To the upside, 210 breaks. We got these gaps to the upside, so it'll possibly close some of these gaps right here that we got a gap down today here on IWM. And if we can get over this high, then we can talk about more upside, which is 216. Now, VIX fired up today, and this thing was up, guys. I mean, up 16% nearly on the day. But look at this hammer type candle. The dip was bought up, went back up, and it's sitting right on pretty much close to the upper Bollinger Band. So I don't see too much of an upside. I've been calling this out falling wedge type of pattern, and we got that today. So $20. That's going to be the main key line in the sand on VIX to the downside. Below that, it can come down to 18. But if this thing remains, over 20, that would be, a signal where you got to be risk off here in this market. It can go possibly higher. How high? I don't know. We'll see. That depends on the news. But I think, you'll all agree that 5% pullback in the market, totally, totally healthy. And we can get, a pullback where we can buy into it. Because right now, as a new money long, and if you're going and buying something at all time high, upside is really limited, guys. So another thing that I want to talk about, which is let's talk about energy stock right here. Chevron. This thing fired up today, huge. It was up, I think, at 153 something from Thursday night when the news actually came out. So, oil energy breaking out, that's going to be a huge red flag, and it's actually outperforming S&P 500. And if that is the case, it goes up even more. Inflation could be coming back. But even though these numbers that are coming out from, inflation numbers, a lot of people, especially people that were expecting that tariff will cause inflation, which is true. It's going to cause inflation, and I'm seeing it in person as I'm going, shopping and doing things. Things went up. If you go to Amazon, you will know exactly. If you have Amazon Prime, you will know exactly. So how the heck the inflation going down? So these numbers, I mean, you talk about Biden cooking the numbers. This guy is no joke either. I mean, cooking the numbers out and putting it out. Oh, inflation going down, you know, Jay Powell go and cut the rates, right? That is the main goal. If the inflation shows that it's going down, he got no choice but then cut, cut, cut. And if it's not cutting, he will just cut his job. That is what's taking place because he will be replaced by another Fed chair. So rate cuts are coming, whether you like it or not. If the inflation comes back or not, that is coming next. And these things are just insane how things are actually your salary, your hourly wages are not going up that much, or as a matter of fact not even going up. But when it comes to inflation and paying your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, your insurance, it's going up. So at some point something has to give, and not to talk about trillions of dollars debt that we have. How much longer they're just gonna raise, 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 print money, and just gonna buy the dips, right? How much longer? At some point, it's gonna be like 2008, right? But when, nobody knows, because we do not run this country. We can see things, but we cannot do anything until like some things happen. Then we can talk about that. Hey, we know that things were coming at that point. But right now, guys, I mean, with inflation numbers low, at least on paper, well, rate cuts are coming 100%. Whether Jay Powell likes it or not, he has to cut. If it's not cutting, then he's gonna get cut up, and somebody will replace him, and they're gonna start cutting. That is all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts on the economy, on the war, and how you're navigating the market. Definitely would love to hear from you guys in the comment section, guys. And I'll definitely keep you updated Monday night.